Have you ever felt like no matter how much money you earn, it somehow disappears faster than it arrives? Like there's an invisible leak in your home, quietly draining your wealth, your peace, and your stability. Maybe you've noticed the tension that appears without reason. The restless nights, the constant financial pressure, the strange feeling that your home itself is not supporting you. In Feng Shui, this is not coincidence. Your home is a living energy field. And when stagnant energy accumulates, it blocks opportunities, weakens financial flow, and allows prosperity to slip away. But there is one simple object, something inexpensive, something already in your home that has been used for centuries to purify this energy, seal these invisible leaks, and restore the natural flow of abundance. In this video, you will learn exactly where to place a salt jar to cleanse heavy energy, stabilize your environment, and allow money to enter and stay. But you must be careful. When placed incorrectly, this same jar can weaken your financial stability instead of protecting it. That's why you need to understand the precise locations, the correct container, and the rules that activate its full power. Stay with me until the end, because once you apply this correctly, many people begin to notice not only financial relief, but also deeper sleep, emotional calm, and a home that finally feels aligned with prosperity instead of working against it. In Feng Shui, your home is not just a physical structure. It is a living field of energy that constantly interacts with your mind, your body, and your financial reality. When this energy flows smoothly, prosperity can enter and remain. But when there is an energetic leak, prosperity becomes unstable. It arrives, but it cannot stay. Most people never realize this is happening. They look for solutions outside, without realizing the source of instability may already exist within the very space where they live every day. For over 40 years, Feng Shui masters have studied how energy moves through a home and how this movement directly influences prosperity, stability, and emotional well-being. Through generations of observation and practice, one truth has remained consistent. When the energy of a home becomes unstable, the lives of those inside it begin to reflect that same instability. Financial stress increases, opportunities slow down, a quiet sense of pressure begins to replace the natural feeling of flow. This is not superstition. It is the result of an environment that is no longer supporting the balance required for prosperity to remain steady. Among the many tools used to correct this imbalance, one stands out for its simplicity and effectiveness: a small jar of salt. But there is a warning that most people never hear. When placed correctly, this jar can help stabilize the energy of your home and protect your financial foundation. But when placed incorrectly, it can unintentionally weaken the very stability you are trying to restore. This is why understanding its proper use is essential. Before you continue, there is something important you must do. In Feng Shui, awareness is the first step toward restoring balance. When you consciously recognize your intention to stabilize prosperity, you begin to align yourself with the energy you want to attract. This is why many masters teach that spoken or written intention strengthens the connection between your environment and your financial reality. It signals clarity, it signals readiness. And most importantly, it signals that you are no longer allowing instability to remain unnoticed within your space. Take a moment now and write in the comments, "My home protects my prosperity, and my prosperity stays." This simple act marks the beginning of restoring stability. It transforms you from a passive observer into an active protector of your environment. And as you continue listening, you will begin to understand why something as simple as salt has been trusted for centuries to help restore balance where instability once existed. Long before modern homes and cities existed, salt was already recognized as a powerful purifier. Ancient civilizations across Asia, the Middle East, and Europe placed salt at the entrances of temples, sacred spaces, and new homes. They understood that salt had a unique ability, not only to preserve physical matter, but to stabilize invisible forces that influence human life. In traditional Feng Shui, salt is believed to absorb stagnant qi, the heavy and unstable energy that accumulates over time. This stagnant energy forms quietly, often created by stress, emotional conflict, financial pressure, and prolonged uncertainty within a space. When stagnant qi is allowed to remain, it disrupts the natural balance of the environment. It slows movement, it weakens clarity, it creates resistance. Salt acts as a stabilizing anchor. Its structure naturally attracts and contains energetic imbalance, preventing it from circulating freely through the home. This is why it has been used for centuries as a protective element. Not because it creates prosperity on its own, but because it removes the invisible instability that prevents prosperity from taking root. Once instability is contained, the environment becomes capable of supporting balance again. In Feng Shui, prosperity is not viewed as something random. It is seen as the natural result of balanced and stable energy flowing through your environment. This energy, known as qi, moves through your home the same way water moves through a river. When the path is clear, the flow remains smooth, steady, and supportive. But when the path becomes blocked, scattered, or weakened, the flow becomes unstable. It slows down, changes direction, or escapes entirely. And when prosperity energy behaves this way, financial stability becomes difficult to maintain, no matter how much effort you apply in your external life. Your home acts as both a receiver and a container of this energy. Every room, every entrance, and every structural feature influences how qi moves and settles. When the environment supports stability, your mind becomes clearer, your decisions become stronger, and opportunities are easier to recognize and maintain. But when the environment allows energy to leak or weaken, it creates subtle instability that affects your focus, your emotional balance, and your financial foundation. Over time, this instability begins to show itself through patterns that are difficult to explain through logic alone. When prosperity energy becomes unstable, the signs rarely appear all at once. Instead, they emerge gradually, often disguised as normal life circumstances. You may notice that money enters your life, but it never seems to accumulate. Unexpected expenses appear repeatedly, forcing you to use resources you had intended to save. Opportunities that once came easily begin to slow down or disappear entirely. Over time, this creates a constant feeling of financial tension, as if stability is always just out of reach, no matter how carefully you manage your decisions. This instability does not affect finances alone. The environment itself begins to feel heavier. Sleep becomes less restful. Your mind feels more fatigued, even after periods of rest. Emotional tension may increase among the people living in the home, often without a clear reason. Motivation weakens, focus becomes scattered. These are not random experiences. In Feng Shui, they are recognized as signs that the flow of qi has been disrupted. When energy cannot circulate properly, it cannot support clarity, stability, or prosperity in the way it was meant to. When the salt jar is placed correctly, the first changes are often subtle. The environment begins to feel lighter, as if an invisible pressure has been lifted. The air feels calmer, the mind becomes quieter. Many people notice that sleep improves naturally, without effort. They wake up feeling more rested, more clear, and less burdened by the constant mental tension they once carried. This happens because the salt begins absorbing the stagnant qi that was disrupting the natural balance of the home. As this instability is contained, the environment slowly returns to a state of support rather than resistance. Over time, this stability begins to influence other areas of life. Decisions feel easier to make. Emotional reactions become more balanced. Financial pressure begins to feel less overwhelming. Opportunities that once felt blocked may begin to reappear, often in unexpected ways. This does not happen because salt creates prosperity directly, but because it restores the conditions necessary for prosperity to remain stable. When your environment stops working against you, your energy becomes aligned with clarity, stability, and forward movement once again. In Feng Shui, the entrance of your home is known as the mouth of Qi. It is the primary gateway through which all energy enters, including the energy that influences your financial stability, opportunities, and emotional balance. Every day, this entrance receives not only physical movement, but also energetic movement. When the entrance is exposed to unstable or stagnant energy, that instability becomes the first influence absorbed into your home. Over time, this can weaken the environment's ability to support prosperity, allowing financial energy to enter in an inconsistent and fragile state. Placing a salt jar near the entrance helps stabilize this gateway. The salt acts as a filter, absorbing unstable qi before it can circulate throughout the home. This creates a protective barrier that strengthens the quality of the energy entering your space. Instead of allowing instability to pass freely inside, the salt contains it, helping preserve balance. As the entrance becomes energetically stable, the home becomes more capable of receiving and maintaining supportive energy. This strengthens the foundation upon which financial stability depends, allowing prosperity to enter without being immediately weakened. Staircases hold a unique role in the movement of energy within a home. While the entrance controls what enters, staircases control how that energy travels between levels. In Feng Shui, staircases are considered accelerators of qi, constantly pushing energy upward and downward. When this movement is balanced, it allows the home to distribute energy evenly. But when the movement becomes too fast or unstable, it can prevent energy from settling properly. This creates a condition where prosperity energy cannot anchor itself. Instead, it moves too quickly, creating instability that may appear as inconsistent financial flow or difficulty maintaining long-term stability. Placing a salt jar near the base or side of a staircase helps slow and stabilize this energetic movement. The salt absorbs the excess instability created by constant motion, allowing qi to circulate in a more controlled and supportive way. This stabilization helps the home retain energy instead of allowing it to scatter. Over time, this creates a stronger internal foundation where prosperity energy can remain steady rather than fluctuating. When energy can settle properly, the environment begins to support continuity instead of instability, strengthening the conditions necessary for financial balance to remain intact. In Feng Shui, the bathroom represents a space of release. It is designed for removal, cleansing, and drainage. While this function is necessary on a physical level, it also carries energetic symbolism. Every drain, every pipe, and every outlet represents downward movement. This constant downward flow can influence how energy behaves within the home. When prosperity energy enters a space connected to release, it may weaken and disperse instead of stabilizing. Over time, this can contribute to patterns where money arrives but leaves quickly, creating a cycle of financial instability that feels difficult to control. Placing a salt jar inside the bathroom in a stable and undisturbed location helps counterbalance this effect. The salt absorbs the unstable qi associated with constant drainage, reducing its ability to influence the rest of the home. Instead of allowing prosperity energy to weaken and escape, the environment becomes more capable of maintaining balance. This does not stop necessary physical movement, but it strengthens energetic containment. As instability is absorbed, the home becomes less vulnerable to patterns of loss, allowing prosperity energy to remain present instead of constantly being pulled away. In Feng Shui, each direction within the home corresponds to a specific aspect of life, and the southeast sector is traditionally associated with wealth, financial growth, and accumulation. This area represents the capacity not only to receive prosperity, but to retain and expand it over time. When the energy in the southeast is stable and balanced, it supports steady financial development and long-term security. But when this area becomes weakened by stagnant or unstable qi, it can interfere with the home's ability to sustain prosperity, creating patterns where financial growth feels limited or inconsistent. Placing a salt jar in the southeast sector helps stabilize this critical area. The salt absorbs energetic instability that may be disrupting the natural accumulation process. As this instability is contained, the energy in this sector becomes more balanced and supportive. This allows prosperity energy to settle and strengthen instead of remaining fragile or scattered. Over time, this stabilization reinforces the home's ability to hold and develop financial stability, creating an environment where growth can occur in a steady and supported way rather than fluctuating unpredictably. In Feng Shui, the northwest sector governs the energy of support, guidance, and beneficial opportunities. It represents the forces outside your immediate control that can influence your financial path: mentors, helpful connections, unexpected assistance, and doors that open at the right moment. When the energy in this area is balanced, it strengthens your ability to receive support from the external world. Opportunities appear more naturally. Helpful people enter your life at the right time. Progress feels less forced and more aligned with steady movement forward. When this sector becomes weakened by stagnant qi, the opposite effect can occur. Opportunities may feel delayed or blocked. Support that once came easily may become inconsistent or unreliable. Placing a salt jar in the northwest sector helps stabilize this field of influence. The salt absorbs energetic instability that interferes with supportive forces, restoring balance to this critical area. As the energy stabilizes, the environment becomes more receptive to alignment with helpful conditions. This allows external support to reconnect with your internal stability, strengthening the foundation upon which financial and personal progress can continue to develop. The container you choose for the salt jar plays an important role in how effectively it stabilizes the energy of your home. In Feng Shui, the container represents containment, structure, and stability. Its purpose is not only to hold the salt physically, but to symbolically reinforce the idea of preserving and protecting prosperity energy. A stable container supports the salt's ability to absorb and contain energetic imbalance without allowing that instability to spread or weaken its effectiveness. Glass and ceramic containers are traditionally recommended because they represent clarity and grounding. These materials are neutral, balanced, and capable of holding energy without distortion. The container should feel solid and stable, with a wide opening that allows the salt to interact naturally with the surrounding environment. Avoid using broken, cracked, or unstable containers, as they symbolically represent fragmentation and instability. When the container itself reflects strength and stability, it reinforces the purpose of the ritual, helping create an environment that supports preservation rather than loss. The quality and condition of the salt itself are essential to the effectiveness of this practice. In Feng Shui, salt is valued for its natural ability to absorb and contain stagnant qi, but its effectiveness depends on its purity and stability. Natural, unprocessed salt is traditionally preferred because it retains its original structure. This structure allows it to interact more effectively with the surrounding energy, helping absorb instability without weakening its own integrity. The salt should be placed dry inside the container and left undisturbed, allowing it to perform its stabilizing role without interruption. Over time, as the salt absorbs energetic imbalance, its condition may begin to change. This is a natural reflection of its function. To maintain effectiveness, the salt should be replaced periodically, ensuring it continues to support stability. When replacing the salt, do so calmly and intentionally, reinforcing the purpose of restoring balance. This simple act strengthens the home's ability to maintain energetic stability, allowing the environment to remain aligned with clarity, protection, and steady financial support. While the salt jar is simple in form, its effectiveness depends entirely on proper placement and care. One of the most common mistakes is placing the jar in an unstable or frequently disturbed location. When the container is constantly moved, touched, or disrupted, it cannot maintain its role as a stabilizing anchor. This weakens its ability to contain stagnant qi and may allow instability to continue circulating through the home. The jar should remain in a calm, secure position where it can function without interruption, reinforcing energetic containment instead of disruption. Another mistake is neglecting the condition of the salt over time. When the salt becomes overly saturated or compromised, it loses its capacity to absorb instability effectively. Ignoring this weakens the protective balance it provides. It is also important to avoid placing the jar in locations associated with chaos or physical instability, as this symbolically reinforces disorder. Every detail of this practice reflects the principle of stability. When stability is preserved, the environment becomes stronger, allowing prosperity energy to remain supported rather than weakened. Your home is more than a place where you rest. It is the foundation upon which your emotional, mental, and financial stability is built. Every wall, every entrance, and every corner influences how energy moves and settles around you. When that energy is stable, it supports clarity, calm, and steady progress. But when instability is allowed to remain, it quietly weakens your foundation over time. This is why small intentional corrections can create meaningful shifts. By stabilizing the energy of your home, you restore its natural ability to support you instead of working against you. The salt jar represents more than a physical object. It represents your decision to protect your environment and preserve your stability. As stagnant qi is absorbed and contained, the home gradually returns to balance. This balance supports clearer thinking, emotional calm, and a stronger financial foundation. Prosperity does not need to be forced when the environment is aligned to sustain it. Stability allows prosperity to remain, strengthening your sense of control and reinforcing the foundation upon which lasting security can grow. Now that you understand how to stabilize the energy of your home, the next step is to consciously activate this alignment. Take a moment and write in the comments, "My home protects my prosperity, and my prosperity stays." This simple action strengthens your intention and marks the beginning of a more stable foundation. When you declare stability, you reinforce your role as the guardian of your environment. If this knowledge has helped you see your home differently, subscribe to the channel and enable notifications. Each teaching you apply strengthens your ability to protect your stability, your clarity, and your financial foundation. Prosperity grows most naturally in environments that are protected, balanced, and aligned.